After that, we talked about the business of medicine and the economic component. So we talked about how the revenue streams more recently especially have been decreasing overall. One reason for that was the increase in the number of health savings accounts and qualified high deductible plans. So again, the consumer is more worried about what it costs because their deductibles are higher. So they're price shopping much more. So similar to what happened with optometrists and ophthalmology, where that market became so retail focused, there's much more transparency on what you get, what the cost is, so on and so forth. So now the patients are much more scrupulous in what they're spending and where they're going and how often they go to the doctors. In addition, things like, and actually this was a small change since last time, the SGR when we met last time was set to be about a 21% cut, but since we last met, they actually changed that to say, look, we're not going to make any cuts per se, but in the future now we're going to really be focused on quality and performance-based models, so much more value-focused. And to some of you that might mean actually a slight increase depending on how you're performing. To others it might mean a decrease. So that's another variable factor in the revenue streams. Further, there's a return to the old Medicaid rates, which will also impact your revenue generation capabilities, as well as meaningful use. Before they were making incentive payments. Now, if you're not complying with meaningful use, there's actually a penalty payment or a reduction in reimbursement. And then finally, PQRS and quality measurements are linked to penalties as well now. So these are all factors that are leading to the decreasing revenues. And on the other end of the equation, you have increasing costs. So we talked about IT quite a bit. EMR is a critical necessity now. You have increased training and compliance, especially with all the different regulations in place. And then finally, marketing. Again, because it's becoming so much more consumer focused, you do need to market your practice. You need to have a stronger brand and so on and so forth. And the combination of these two ends of the equation is leading to what we called squeezed margins. So your margins, if you haven't noticed, have probably shrunk. And for some, unfortunately, especially the smaller groups potentially, they even went negative to the point where, not that you had negative money, but you probably made less. You took home less as a private practice physician. And these are the real realities that many private practice physicians are dealing with. In a nutshell, what's happening is we need increased coordination due to all the factors I've talked about. So you need to be more integrated and involved with the health systems, the specialists, the payers, the ancillary service providers, because it's going to lead to the more effective care, the higher quality care, and the more cost-efficient care. So what's been happening recently is all this coordination has led groups to believe that, you know what, if we're coordinating so much, one of the best ways to coordinate is consolidate. Because then we have control of more of the pie and more of the pieces that are moving around. So that's why you're seeing the push for, that's another reason that you're seeing a push for consolidation.